Howdy-ho, Andrew here. Welcome to the Onion Buns and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Oilers. Oilers versus Wild, December 2nd, 2025, Game 27. So, pre-show, not much to go over for tonight's game. Lines remain exactly the same from the Seattle game, including Skinner and net. Minnesota comes in 11-2-1 in their last 14 games. So this will be the toughest game of the Oilers' 5-game homestand. On paper, anyway. But this game is very winnable if we get the same effort and push back we got versus Seattle. So really, it all depends on what team shows up tonight. As I've said, I want to see 4 to 5 wins from this 5-game homestand. We gave away a ton of points in the first 22 games against teams we should not have been losing to. So it's time for us to make up those lost points. Let's go Oilers. Period 1. Oiler penalty at 9:18. Emberson for interference. Skinner makes 3 nice saves on the penalty kill, but wasn't credited for any of them. Skinner made 5 saves on the PK, but only got credited for 2 saves. Wild goal at 6:49. Face-off win for Minnesota and a fast one-timer to the goal to the high glove hand. 1-0 Minnesota. After the game, Knobloch said they think the puck was deflected. I didn't notice it. Nobody seemed to notice it, but that's what Knobloch thought. So, either way, it was a good goal. End of the first. Shots on net. 8-7 for Minnesota. 1-0 Minnesota. Solid period overall. Quite even. But the shots on goal should read 12-7 for Minnesota. This is not the first or the second time I've pointed out the NHL is not properly counting shots on goal versus our goalies. And I feel that's grossly unfair. 1 goal against on 8 shots is a .700 save percentage, which sucks. 1 goal against on 12 shots it's a .900 plus save percentage, which is what we keep asking our goalies to deliver to us. So the truth is, Skinner had a .900 save percentage in the first period. He just wasn't given the saves. 4 of the 4 saves he made were not counted. The league's got to do better. Like I said, this is not the first or the second time I've noticed this and called it out. And, I can't turn on the radio without hearing Stauffer talking about, we got the worst save percentage in the league. Well, I know of 3 games, and there's probably more, where we're not getting credited, our goalies, I should say, are not getting credited for the saves they made. I mean, in this game, Louis and Jack actually did a replay showing the saves, and they weren't credited. Now, Louis and Jack didn't talk about them not being credited, but they showed the replay of Skinner making the saves that were not credited to him. So, it's ridiculous. Second period. Minnesota penalty at 14:34 for hooking. We got some great chances on this power play. This was, we got a few power plays this game. This was the only power play we got that we had chances on. Savoy is buzzing today, but he needs to get shots off much faster. He's overhandling pucks before he's shooting. And that was very apparent today because he would get the puck and he was doing the get the puck and stop the puck before he shoots. And I'm trying to remember who was doing that before. We had a player that was doing that and they couldn't buy a goal because they always had to stop the puck. They couldn't just get the shot off. And I think that's what Savoy needs to start working on is he needs to start working on getting his shot off a lot quicker. You can stop the puck in the AHL or in university or in juniors. In the NHL, you have to get that puck off a lot quicker. And that seems to be the problem he's running into. Minnesota penalty at 8:15 tripping. Oilers forcing Minnesota to take shortcuts in the second and getting rewarded with power plays. Unfortunately, we didn't even get a shot on net on this second power play. And on the next power play after that, we didn't get a shot on net. So the Oilers went into the overpassing mode rather than getting the shots on net. End of the second, shots on goal, 15-22 for the Oilers. So still 1-0 for Minnesota. Oilers dominated the second, but they need to score in the third. We outshot Minnesota 15-6 in the second period. Third period, Leon, McDavid, and Podkolzin are now together with 15 minutes to go in the third period. RNH, Mangiapane, and Hyman are making up the second line. Oilers penalty at 10:15, Nurse for holding. Nurse stops a triple-A scoring chance, but he got tagged for holding. And honestly, I was a little bit surprised he didn't get tagged for a penalty shot because he was behind the player. The player had position on him, but he got hit for holding, and he probably saved the goal. So it was one of those penalties you don't mind him taking. Oilers successfully killed the penalty. It's getting down to crunch time. We need a goal. Now McDavid, Leon, and Hyman as our top line. Skinner comes out of the net with 1:35 left. It's 6-on-5. Minnesota had to make it interesting. They took a penalty with 41.2 seconds left in the third, tripping. So now it's Oilers 6-on-4. And this is that third power play I was talking about. We didn't get a shot on net. We just pass. Everybody was passing. Nobody was shooting. Minnesota wins 1-0. Shots on goal were 24-32 for the Oilers. Overall, it was a solid game, but you can't win if you don't score. Skinner and Wallstead were both excellent in net. I said going in, we need 4 to 5 W's. This was our hardest matchup of the homestand. So that's the one gimme. So we need to win the next 4 games. It's just as simple as that. We are now 11-11-3, and that's not acceptable. We should be well above 500 at this point in the season. So yeah, the next 4 games, we have to start putting up some W's. Just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So normally I do 3 stars, but with no scoring and everyone playing well, it's hard to pick out any skaters that stood out above the others. So for today's game, it's going to be 2 stars. One is Stuart Skinner as the number 1 star. He had a .950 save percentage, and yeah, he had a great game. Number 2 star, team effort. The whole team gave us a solid effort. They just didn't score. The slugs, there was no slugs tonight. I guess I could say the lack of scoring, but, we got 32 shots, so it wasn't like they weren't shooting unless we were on the power play, so yeah, I had no problem with tonight's game. Tonight was one of those games where, okay, we lost, but I'm not upset about the loss. They gave us a full effort. We got a 60-minute effort today. That's what I've been asking for all season, so I'm not going to complain. Sometimes it doesn't go our way. Wallstead stood on his head. He made some amazing saves. And Minnie they play excellent defensive hockey. There was people calling in the post-game show on Ched bitching, oh, it's so boring. Well, yeah, they kind of remind me of the old New Jersey Devils. They're a very defensive-orientated team, but it works for them. Solid team effort, but we need offense from our top 6. It's as simple as that. As I said with Savoy, he's got to learn to shoot a lot quicker than he is. Our next game is Thursday, December 4th, versus the Seattle Kraken at 7 p.m. on Sportsnet. And that's my video for today. It's a very short video because it was a very defensive game, so there wasn't a lot of spots to talk about. And I didn't mind their effort, so there's really no criticizing or complaining. It's just, we needed to get at least 1 goal to get it into overtime, and it just wasn't to be. So that's my video for today. If you like the video, leave a like, a subscribe, and a share. I'm trying to grow my channel, and a like, a subscribe, and a share, it does me wonders, and I do appreciate it. Takes 1 second to subscribe, costs you absolutely nothing, helps me immensely. Just hit the subscribe button on the bottom of the screen. Always feel free to leave a comment. I encourage everybody to leave a comment. What did you think of the game? Were you bored? Did you appreciate the effort? What did you think? Come into the comments, let me know. Also, leaving a comment really does help me with the YouTube algorithm and getting more eyes on my videos. And as always, pew 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 and shit. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.